Hi friends, this is wishkotheferret. We're just hanging out here in one of my hidey holes. We are keeping it cool and we're keeping it cozy because it's really hot where I'm at. So I'm actually out and about right now. This is not the normal ferret den, but you know, regardless of where I'm at, I'm still going to get these readings to you, even though conditions may not be too optimal. So it's so funny because if you had Libra in one of your sun, moon, rising, or if you watched the Libra, Oliver made an appearance and he literally woke up to strut his stuff over to the shelf and completely knocked it over. So, along with the camera, the whole thing just fell. But I do have my little near here before we get into this reading, and for those of you who are like into the ferret part of this channel, this is my beautiful baby girl, near. She's not so much a baby anymore. She's like an old gal, but sorry, she just woke up, which is why she's a little shaky. Yeah. Bye. Okay. You can come back in here if you would like. She was in my, she likes to sleep in my clothing. So I'm gonna let her do her thing right here, and she can be with me. Okay, so Aquarius, this reading for you is for June 5th to June 11th. So as always, drop into your heart space, let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you, so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for others. And then I'm gonna step into my space while you do that. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for protecting me, protecting my space, protecting this room, casting it in the golden light, for allowing me to connect with the Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Thank you, Spirit Guides. Thank you, Angel Team, for assisting me on this journey. And thank you, Red Dragon, for keeping strong barriers to this room and for helping me get a clear channel to our Aquarius collective here. Goal here is to uplift and to empower, and we have 3 focus cards. So hot diggity damn, but like they're all related, so I feel like I can't like shuffle them back in because it's related. So you have invite help, companionship, and expansiveness. So I'm not even gonna read the cards because this is quite literally just calling in the help of your friends, calling in the help of nearby companions. That's the main focus of your week, and in doing so you will achieve expansiveness. Your soul is going to grow. Actually, no, Spirit's like double back and read the message on the cards. So invite help says, invite the divine to pursue you. Seriously, just say, I'm finally ready, God, to pursue me. You also have companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. I'm going to show them to you one by one, and then they're all going to go together. Expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. So all 3 of them, quite literally, it says invite in the help of companionship, and in doing so you will achieve expansiveness. So expansiveness, specifically in relation to soul consciousness. And that's so interesting because maybe it was your sign. I always say this to all of the signs. I'm like, all the fire signs get similar messages. All the air signs get similar messages. Like, y'all air signs ain't any different. I mean, like, you'll have, like, nuances in your readings and stuff. And obviously, it's very different messages. But sometimes you'll have similar cards in, like, the same positions. And I'm like, I'm not the only reader that does that. I think it's wild. But anyway. Expansiveness, so we talked about this with Gemini because that was their focus. That was their main focus card. So inviting help from friends can actually, like, I don't know, there's something here about healing. There's doing some patchwork or something on some healing that I'm getting, but specifically what we talked about with Gemini was quite literally like the soul or like your energy becoming more expansive. And then I feel like for you specifically though, it's intertwining with other people. So it's other energies that are making you brighter at this time. It's making your soul kind of grow, not only heal but grow. And I don't know, just I just see it becoming kind of like a yellow golden, which is kind of like, for me it's like an angelic healing type of frequency or energy, but that's like the energy of kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to like read into it too much because I'm just getting the sense that it's like a very healing type of vibe. It's not really connection of, I guess it is like the interconnectedness of all, but I think some of the message is interconnected as well, but for you, I feel like it's quite literally soul growth. It's soul expansiveness. This is your own conscious expanding. I don't know how else to say it, because Gemini's reading was like highly energy related, and this one seems more like your energy is shifting, but on an individual level. Like you are becoming stronger as a person, and your energy is becoming, like, I just see it growing. I see your auric field just getting like bigger, but in a good way, like more powerful, if that makes sense. But we're gonna dig up some tarot and go into the deets of this week and see. Whoa, not like that, I won't. I'm gonna see what's going on for you, Aquarius, because I don't know. Okay. Your cards just are kind of wanting to come out. Like, sometimes when I shuffle for different energies, the cards come out in a very weird way. Okay, wow. See what I mean? Like, are you seeing these cards right now? Like, sometimes I'll go, in certain readings, sometimes I'll, like, move, like, the top part, and then, like, there's a card that falls out, and sometimes in readings, like, every time I go to shuffle, something just falls out straight down. Or, like, sometimes, like, they'll flip over, sometimes with people's readings, like, they'll jump. The cards always seem to react differently depending on the type of energy that I'm connecting with. I don't know if any other channelers have that thing. But if you are also a channeler, please tell me if that's a thing. The shuffling is always, like, slightly different. But anyway, you have the King of Swords and you have the Moon. And the way that I pulled this spread is that these two are meant to be read in junction with one another. So the King of Swords is having a sharp mind, strong, decisive nature. The problem here, when paired with it, is the Moon. The Moon causes confusion. So you might actually be having, okay, Spirits, like, do justice to whatever it is, like, whatever decisions that you're making, because the Moon doesn't have a lot of clarity. So there could be situations this week where you find that, you know, things aren't as clear as they could be, but it's almost like you still have that strong, decisive, or like the need, or maybe there's like a time pressure or something to be strong and decisive and take strong action on something, even though the situation is not clear. The air seems murky, there seems to be confusion. That's just generally what the Moon is. Just keep calm and move on, is what Spirit literally said. Keep it calm and moving on, is what Spirit says. So you're working with what you got. Waiting any longer, it might not clear up. And also, if it does clear up after waiting for a certain amount of time, it may be too late or something. I don't know. It's almost like it's not worth waiting, or it can't wait any longer, is what Spirit is saying. So if you aren't making a decision, Spirit just said cast your vote. So whatever it is that you are fighting for, or whatever it is that you are making a decision on, Spirit's almost like saying, you know, be like strong and decisive about it, but then be confident in it and say, well, I worked with the knowledge and the limited knowledge that I had at the time, and there's really no way of knowing. The decision can't wait forever, so just make a choice. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it doesn't matter what choice you make, but Spirit's like, the important thing is that you just make a choice, whatever choice that you feel called to make, even if you don't have all the information right now. You have the Four of Pentacles, and you also have the Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, okay, especially when in junction with one another. I actually really like this because the Four of Pentacles indicates some sort of lack, especially in terms of finances, but I like to read the Four of Pentacles in many different forms or fashions, like spiritual, our gifts and talents, our resources, anything that works in the material world. And I also just assign spirituality to it just because it does seem to be about work and gifts and talents, and that's typically sometimes how we express our gifts and talents, is through our work. So there's a charm about you, and there's like a skill or talent that you have that is charming, or it's almost like you have something charming about you that is attracting other opportunities to you. But whatever this is, it does seem to be like some type of financial gain, or some sort of new financial or business opportunity. But either way, it's just some type of new physical opportunity that is coming in terms of like career, finances, something in the material. But it's almost like whatever you are in a state of lack in, is Spirit is saying, you know, welcome something new in, or allow something new to come in. Be on the lookout. Like, be actively looking for these opportunities, because they are there and they want to present to you. They are willing to present themselves to you. I feel like some of you are going to have to put yourself out there to look for them. For some others, I don't feel like it's going to show up on a silver platter for some reason. I feel like you have to actually make the move or the effort. But I don't feel like you're going to have to look. It's not going to be hard. Spirit's like, it's not hard to find. So even if you're like going out, like, I don't think you have to go too out of the way. Let's say you're going to, like, I don't know, you're going to a karaoke bar or something, and you're somebody who wants to DJ for karaoke or whatever, and you know, you just want to attend somebody else's karaoke, but as you're talking with somebody randomly at the bar, they just happen to know a place, just because they're at a karaoke thing, they know of a place that is looking to hire a DJ for karaoke or whatever, and you're like, oh wow, so it's not this place that I'm at, but it's somewhere else. So because you took a step in the direction of like the boat that you wanted to ride on, another boat presented itself to you, but it's still going to take you maybe not fully to your destination, but even if it's just halfway, you're like, okay, I'm going to take that opportunity. I'm going to jump on that boat instead of waiting for this other one to dock. So quite literally just being opportunistic. It's just a card of being opportunistic. So I feel like if you're stepping in that direction in some way, it could come from kind of like, this opportunity could come from an unexpected type of source, but it's almost like you don't really need to be looking for it. Just start moving in the direction that you want to go, and opportunity will come to you. But it seems like whatever you're in a state of lack in and whatever you're looking for seems to be coming your way. Just move towards it, or move towards those settings or environments or whatever the case may be, and you will eventually start having opportunities kind of come at you. So at the interesting, so interesting. Because your focal point is invite help, companionship, and expansiveness. And when I pull tarot, this is considered the root of all of these cards, and this is the Hermit. Now the Hermit, at the root of, you know, reaching out, asking for help, and receiving some form of like soul consciousness, the root of coming up from within is the Hermit. The Hermit does draw within himself because he has a lot of soul wisdom to draw up on, but Spirit's almost saying that whatever is coming up from within, whatever it is that like is the root of all of this, there is, and like, even though like their focal point is reaching out and asking for help, the Hermit, see, there's like another weird message coming in from the Hermit, and this is like a subtle message because I don't typically read the Hermit like this. Usually people will say, you know, the Hermit is a card of drawing within. I would actually argue against that. Yes, the Hermit is about solitude. The Hermit is about gaining that inner wisdom. But the thing is, the Hermit knows when to shine his inner wisdom. And the Hermit knows that he doesn't know everything. He has all that wisdom, he has all the answers that he needs, but in order to make his way through life, he knows that he needs to rely on others. And the thing about the Hermit is, he's not there forever. He's not up on his mountain, like, you know, combing his beard and just waiting for, like, his days to pass. Like, he will eventually come out and go out into the light. He does take his lantern, and he has his walking stick for a reason. He is venturing away from his mountain. In some cases, he needs to, like, you need to be almost kind of like, okay, Spirit's coming up with the word assertive, but I'm not sure where to apply that. So apply it to your situation as you see fit, something about being assertive. But, you know, do make sure that you are, like, having your needs being met by the people that you reach out to, or at least by yourself. Make sure that you're stepping away when necessary. You might only have brief meetings with friends, not like getting all too consumed with going out with people. You might have to set boundaries with yourself, but connecting with that inner wisdom with the Hermit, it's almost like you're walking with that wisdom, you're sharing it with others, and you're also learning from them too. Scholars collect in groups and they learn from one another, and the Hermit knows, again, that he's not the smartest crayon in the box. Like, he's not the brightest crayon. Like, he's not, like, not saying like he's not the brightest light bulb, but I mean, like, how do I want to say this? Because that probably sounds a little bit condescending, and that's not what I mean for the Hermit. But it's almost like The Hermit recognizes many shades in the crayon box and recognizes that no, he may not be the brightest crayon. He might be a super bright crayon, but he might not be the brightest. And he's willing to learn from others. So that maybe that's what I'm getting at, is that the Hermit is humble. So the Hermit does, like what's coming up from within, yes, is that inner soul wisdom that sometimes you need to retreat to access. But this is also coming up as like, because it is like the root of this companionship, it's almost like you're reaching, your soul wisdom is requiring you to reach out now. The Hermit, that introvert, it's not the introvert inside, wow, sorry, misspeak. The Hermit isn't always the introvert. It can be seen as an introspective card. But coming within, and then it's almost like you're coming, I don't know, I just feel like you're coming out of a period of being by yourself. You're coming out of a period of, you know, solitude, and you're wanting to, you know, connect with others, even if only briefly. Let's see what other oracle cards you have. Let's see what other messages you got going on. Buy the book. Buy the book. Okay, so sometimes when I get this message, it's quite literally telling me to tell my story in book form, like I need to write that book. So for some of you, if you've been lagging on a book idea and you've been trying to write it, Spirit's saying, get on it, write that book. Or this is not saying that you have to, but they're expressing encouragement that, like, you know, you can walk in that direction. Buy the book, actually, in this card, in this deck, traditionally it means, I'm sorry, I say traditionally because I speak often intuitively through these cards, but quite literally, buy the book. Out of this book, since I picked it up, I might as well read it. Because they talk about tradition in here. They talk about, like, different routines. So let me just read it. Abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural family customs, universal laws. The universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. I'm going to let that be a standalone message because that's not usually how I read the card, but when I quite literally said buy the book, and I, like, it flashed in my mind of the book itself, and then when I picked up the book, I was like, oh my gosh, I meant to read it out, because the card connects with me in a different way. So I'm going to let that apply to you as you see fit. You have generosity, sow seeds of kindness. So really making sure that sowing seeds of kindness, I feel like this is for yourself, but I feel like this is more for others. So making sure that you are acting in a state of altruism. I know people can argue in philosophy that it's extremely hard for people to act altruistically, or they say that, oh, no one can be truly kind to other people because we are being kind to ourselves by, or like we're feeling good from being kind to others. But Spirit is saying, you know, just act with love and act from a good heart, because that also in turn fills you up. Generosity spreads that love that the divine wants to see in the world, and it also just, you know, makes you feel good about yourself too. So I mean, why not spread the love if it makes you feel good too, and it makes other people feel good. Wow, you have like a lot of stuff going on in here. And we just pulled. Where? Oh, I just put it over there. You have like, again, you have like 3 cards popping out, so I'm just going to say them all. So you have Discover. Look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. So taking chances to, again, like view opportunities and make sure that you are discovering new things, even if it's something that you haven't really seen or heard of before. It's something that you're like willing to take on. It's something that you are willing to explore. You haven't heard of it, you haven't really thought about it, but you're almost like, okay, I'm just gonna do it anyway. But also make sure that you're relaxing and you're resting too, because you got both those cards popping out with Discover. So I think some of you quite literally need to, like, because I read these side by side. I quite literally feel like discover, rest, relaxation, rest and relaxation. Like, I see discover, relaxation, and rest. Like, perhaps you just need to slow down and discover those things. Not just truly introspective work or shadow work. If some of you are coming out of that time, like coming out of that period, some of you quite literally just need to rest and recover from that. Shadow work is not rest, guys. Working on yourself is not rest. It takes energy, and sometimes you need a healing day. Okay? But relax says delight in powdered gold sunshine. Sometimes just being present and just allowing yourself to be. Have you ever just allowed yourself to sit out in the sun and think about absolutely nothing? Or just sit down without intention of doing anything and just staring off into space, or just like letting your mind rest easy? Not to meditate, not to like, sometimes we sit down to meditate with intention. It's either, oh, I want answers, I want to connect with my guides, I want to discover a sense of peace and calmness. Have you ever just had no expectations of yourself and just sat down and stared at a wall and was like, I think I'm just going to take it second by second and see what happens? Not just quiet meditation or like, you know, trying to turn your awareness inward. Just like, let your brain stop. Let your brain waves just completely like slow down and just like not even focus on anything. Sometimes those moments actually, like the spirit's saying, I just heard someone say breathe. Be and breathe. So allowing yourself to just be in the present, but just the present, not actively doing anything, but just acknowledging now for what it is, and just like not like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. You'll discover the state when I'm telling you, like if you're experiencing it, like if you quite literally just turn your mind off. I know it's incredibly hard, but turning your mind off and just sitting down, doing nothing, and just breathing, like it's an incredible thing. Like when you have no expectation of yourself, you're like, like, I don't know. There's something amazing about it. See? Oh, there. I'm tired. Rest. Slow down. You don't have to solve everything today. You don't have to do anything today. Is specifically the message that came through. So the card says solve, but my mind said do. You don't have to do anything today. But you also don't have to figure everything out today either. So, I don't know. I feel like I can't expand on that anymore than the card already offered. So I'm going to roll the angel dice for you, because you know I can't go anywhere without my angel numbers book. You have 305, and we're pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. Face your challenges so that you can make changes rather than have changes presented to you. Unite with honesty and integrity. One more time. Face your challenges so that you can make changes rather than have changes presented to you. Unite with honesty and integrity. And that might actually be part of your hermit work. If you're coming out of hermit mode, then that might be something that you're doing. But if you're if you're like in the midst of hermit mode now, actually facing your challenges and taking action, like, could help. Like, okay, you're not the one with that card I was thinking about, the Libra reading, but it's almost like it could help you be kind of like the wildflower, you know, finding the sunlight through the cracks is what that card says, and that's almost kind of the image that I'm getting, is somebody who is choosing to make their way out of it. So, you know, it's almost like I see somebody in a cave who sees some cracks of light, and that's the first light they've seen in days, so they take, you know, their hands and they really just try to dig at it, and they're hurting themselves trying to do it, but it's almost like, I don't know, they show me with a pickaxe. I don't really know why. Oh, that's why. Okay. Because I was like, wait, they're trying to dig at it. And I was like, they're digging at it with their hands? And I'm like, no, they have a tool. Because it's almost like, oh, maybe, okay, so, yeah, because they showed me originally, like, somebody who is in this cave and who kind of sat around for a long time. Like, there were other, so like I'm seeing what you're doing now or what's needed to be done, but it's almost like all the way up until now, perhaps you have been just looking for bigger spaces to leave out of, but you couldn't, like, you couldn't find any of those spaces and you only see these 2 cracks of light, but I see you taking like your hands and your tools, like basically using whatever means, because it's strong. You're taking strong swings at it because you're like, this is my choice and I'm choosing to break out of this myself. I am choosing to go see the sun and to follow the light, basically. But you're not kind of waiting around for, you know, or you're not kind of walking around waiting for like other things to pop up for you, you know? So, that being said, Aquarius, that is your reading. I hope this resonated with you in some way and that it helped you on your journey in life in some way. If you like this video, if this message resonated with you, if you like my style, you like my vibe, you think I'm cool, go ahead, like and subscribe, all the things. That way you don't miss any more content from me and you get to keep up to date with, you know, everything that's going on. So, I love you, I love you, I love you. I hope you have the best week, Aquarius, and I'll see you next time. Bye.